Friends can present now. So Sridevi's group question is, what are the differences between friendship in the outside world and friendship amongst devotees?
Hare Krishna. So our topic is, our question is, what is the difference between material friendship and spiritual friendship? Friendship with outsiders and friendship with devotees. So the first thing is, the friendship with outside is, means it is material. The fact it is material, because it is going, the consequence is that it is going to entangle you more and more in this material world. So what outside people, they will just drag you to material things only. So that is entangling. Whereas on the spiritual side, so the more you get associated with spiritual friends, that will lead you to liberation. Like devotees are always helpful in discussing about Krishna Katha, or either they take prasadam together, they do book reading together, they chant together, they help in chanting. So all these things devotees do together. So that is actually liberating. And yeah, outside people, it is, the friendship is very superficial, because there is no information about Krishna. So it is just a superficial thing, and they expect actually something from the other person. So like there is always motive behind the friendship. So they do some friendship with some person in they, and they expect something in return. So that's why, let's say we can take the example of Karna and Duryodhana. So Duryodhana want to defeat Arjun, and Karna wants to prove himself greater than Arjun. So they have their own selfish motives, and based on this, the mutual cooperation, mutual understanding. So that's why their friendship was there. And but whereas in Krishna consciousness, the devotees are free from expectations. They selflessly serve the devotees. So when there is always a sharing and caring mentality is there in the circle of devotees. And because it is just superficial, the outside people also, they can't gel with other people. So there is only bodily conception of life, for with the outside people. Let's say they will only mix with, they think that I'm a rich person, so I will mingle with rich person only, because they just see the superficial things. But whereas a devotee circle, they see everyone on the platform of soul, like part and parcel of Krishna. So that's why they will be able to overcome the external differences also. So this is one difference. And one more difference is that uh, in the material circle, let's say some clashes happen, because there are so many differences of opinions are there. So when the clashes happen, it is very difficult for them to again come closer and repair that relationship. But whereas devotees, they tolerate each other's differences, they have a respect among each other, there is loving service is there. So that's why they will be able to easily tolerate each other's differences, and they will be able to cooperatively go ahead in their friendship also. Friendship and devotional service. And we can see that Krishna and Sudama, so in spite of all the difficulties when they went to forest, there were so many difficult storm was there. So externally the difficulties were there, but they were always together. So they tolerate actually. And so one more point is that actually everyone has their own self-interest. Like previously we were discussing that Karna and Duryodhana, they have their own self-interest. So their center is not same. So that's why we can see that, sir, when the centers are different, when you draw the circle around that center, so there will be intersection. So there is always clashes, because the center is not same. But whereas in devotee circle, the center is Krishna. So the relationship is based on Krishna. So that's why there are less clashes, and there may be no clashes also. Even though if we may see external some differences of opinions, because their central theme is that they want to serve Krishna. So the relationship is more smooth. And also in outside circle, if you tell if you share some point to like your weakness or something, if you share to other person, he may not be able to help you much because he may be giving only material solutions. And also sometimes instead of helping, he may be ridiculing also, and he may be sharing with this your weakness to other people also. There is always that trust factor is very less in the outside friendships. But whereas devotees friendships, they actually maintain confidentiality, and they will encourage us, and they give the right solutions because they have the spiritual knowledge, and they will be able to really help us. These are the few differences
Very
which our
good.
team
Very
has.
beautiful. Very, very brilliant. Very deep. They considered multiple factors. So, who are your team members?
Our team members are Umesh Prabhu, Ashok Prabhu, Yogesh Prabhu, and Vinith Prabhu.
Oh, you can stand up. All devotees will see you. I'll chant on Haribol Padam. Haribol.
Haribol.
Very, very beautiful points. In fact, I had written the same points what they said. In fact, they have put points more than what I wrote also. Multiple points. Very good. Thank you. I am going to show you something regarding the same topic. It's a quiz for all the attendees. Let us see who is able to answer it. Huh? You can see here. See, first point I've given, in this world, people make friendship based on sense gratification. So you have to give example. Karna made friends with whom for sense gratification? Duryodhana. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. So Karna thought my image will be saved, if he makes me Angadeshka Raja. Huh? And Duryodhana thought, if I keep Karna in my pocket, baad mein kaam mein aayega. Huh? Later on he'll be helpful. Like that he thought. Okay, Kamsa made friendship with whom? Jarasandha. Rukmi is brother of Shishupal. Yeah. And Narakasura made friendship with Vivida, Bhaumasura, like that, yeah. They all made a friendship with such people. Huh? Duryodhana made friendship with whom? Shakuni? Shakuni. Exactly, because he thought Shakuni can help me hatch plots too. Now, give examples of persons who were earlier considered friend, but later became enemy because of sense gratification problem. Now, Kaikeyi earlier considered Lord Rama very dear, but now that the Raja Padavi was in question, so now she sent Ram far away and then wanted her son to become the king. Correct, no? Second question, Kacha and anybody knows? You may not know the pastime. Kacha and Devyani. Devyani was Shukracharya's daughter. So Kacha was a student coming to Shukracharya to learn Mrityu Sanjeevani mantra. Huh? So one day Devyani proposed to him and said, Kacha, you are a Brahman, I am also Brahmani. Can we marry? He said, no. You see, I am your father's student and it's not proper for me to connect with you. It will be improper. I won't marry you. She became angry. She said, so you won't marry me? I curse you that whatever mantra you learned from my father will be not coming to your help when you want it. Like that she said. He said, oh, you are cursing me? You will never get a Brahmana as your husband. You will only get a Kshatriya. Therefore, Devyani got who as the husband? Ayati Raja, who is Kshatriya. So here both the parties are cursing each other. Because earlier Devyani was attracted to Kacha, but the moment he said, I can't marry you, he became her enemy. In this world, even friends can sometimes become enemy also. Yeah. Okay, Drupada and who were friends who became enemies? Drona. And Dash versus Krishna Satyabhama. Krishna Satyabhama went to heaven to give Aditi's kundal and Varuna's umbrella. Indra and Sachi welcomed them and gave them a high seat and offered flowers at their feet and all. But while going, Krishna plucked one Parijat flower plant. Then Indra started chasing after Krishna, attacking. So Krishna was a friend because he brought his mother's kundal. But now that he's taking Parijat, he became enemy for him. Satrajit, and who was friend of Satrajit and who became enemy? In the pastime of Shamantaka jewel. Yeah. Actually, Satrajit Satyajit and Krishna, for example, earlier Satyajit thought Krishna has present the forest and lion took it and then Jambavan took it and then Krishna brought it back and gave him. Now he thought Krishna is my friend now. So he gave his daughter in marriage to him. Huh? Who? Satyabhama. So Satyajit thought of Krishna to be friend, enemy earlier and now friend like that. And Devyani and another girl, they were friends and later on they became enemies. Anybody knows? Huh? Sarmishta, yeah. Sarmishta was a king's daughter. Her father's name was Vrishaparva. And Devyani is daughter of Shukracharya. One is a Brahmani, one is Chatrani. Huh? They both are thick friends. One day they both went to a pond to take a bath. So they kept all the clothes and ornaments, everything in the pond, the bank of the pond. And then they were taking bath. And then the Chatrani, Sarmishta, came out of the water first. And then she picked up Devyani's clothes by mistake. And she started wearing. When Devyani saw that, she shouted from there, you dog, you are like a dog who is coming into the house of a Brahmana to take away the leaf cup of ghee kept for the sacrifice. Like that she said. Why? Indirectly she hinted that you are Kshatriyas, you are like protector dogs. And we are Brahmanas, we use the ghee for Vedic sacrifice. Indirectly she subtly criticized her. She became very angry. Who? Sarmishta. She said, what? You are calling our Kshatriya Kulam as a dog and you think you Brahmanas are great? So she picked up Devyani and put her in a dry well. She threw her into a dry well, which had no water. It was little deep well. Devyani could not come out. So Brahmani was speaking sharp words with the tongue, but the Chatrani did a practical action because Kshatriya has to show action. She picked up and threw her in there. So they were best friends, they became worst enemies. Similarly, many of you are staying in our Shreyas centers, you are staying. Morning, somebody will take away your towel. The best of friend can become worst of enemy. Hey, you took my towel. He will say, okay, I only took your towel, you took my dhoti. He may say, you can fight for small things, correct? Yeah. And then Dash and Vasudev Devaki. Kamsa. He was even riding the chariot, taking Devaki and Vasudev, keeping them in the chariot. But when he heard the Akashvani, next moment Devaki became his enemy. Just see, when his sense gratification was hampered, immediately. And Vali and Dash. Vali and Sugriva. So in this way, Vali and Sugriva were very close brothers, but then later on they became sworn enemies. Even friends can become enemy, correct? So one is the sense gratification point I told you. Second one, for material designation. For example, culture, religion, philosophy, skin color, family identity, all these things also make us feel like friends. Like imagine you go to America, everybody is English, they're speaking in English. You're not very comfortable. Suddenly somebody from the crowd comes and asks you, Bhagonara? Either somebody oh, somebody's speaking my language. And immediately kuchandi, chappandi, randi, and all that you will say that is it. So when somebody speaks the same language, you feel very connected. That is material designation, correct? No? Now, so you are from South India. So somebody is also from South India, you are comfortable. Somebody is North India, you are North India, I am South India sometimes. Or you are East India, or I am from West India, or whatever. You may feel differences like that. Or in this way, somebody, like you have a surname, Reddy. Somebody else is also Reddy. Hey, Reddy. Feel very comfortable, isn't it? So you feel with surname compatibility or with your area also. Imagine somebody is from Guntur. Some other boy in your college is also from Guntur. Hey, Guntur. He's Guntur wala. So you feel match. Correct, no? So your place of birth, your jati, your language, all these things also matter. So we identify with them, but they are all superficial. Do you agree? There is one poet called Subramanya Bharati in Tamil Nadu. He says, செந்தமிழ்நாடென்னும் போதினிலே என்பத்தேன் வந்து பாயுது காதினிலே. Like that he's singing. And what is the meaning of this? He's saying, when you say Tamil Nadu, honey flows in my ear. Like that he says. So when I went to Maharashtra, one boy said, hey, Rahim, exactly, there is one poet who sang a similar song there. He said, when you say Jai Maharashtra, then honey flows in that fellow's ears. That means everybody thinks whose state is best? My state is best. My native place is best. My state is best. So that is all. Is it correct identification or wrong identification? Wrong identification. Your identity is you are not the body, you are soul. So from soul point of view, all of us are same in quality. I'll tell you a little story. Once upon a time in the central India, there were some frogs living. And suddenly there was a scarcity for water and food and everything. So the frogs decided that we have to go to some other ilaka for getting food and everything. So some frogs went to north, some went to south, some went to east, some went to west. But after they went to the place, other frogs told them, yes, we can include you in our community. Only thing is, you guys are all of you looking brown. We cannot accept brown frogs. The north frogs said, you're supposed to look yellow. So we'll paint you yellow. So they were painted yellow, all the frogs. Then some of the frogs came to south. They said, you have to supposed to be green, only then we can take. Okay, then all the south frogs, they painted them in green like that. And then some of the frogs went east. They said, you are supposed to look orange, so we'll paint you orange. They painted like that. So some of them went to the eastern side. They said, we only accept blue frogs, not brown frogs. Okay, they painted them blue. So then they were all living in those areas, eating food, everything. Suddenly they got one good news that again in central India there was a heavy rain and there's abundant water, lot of greenery, everything. Ponds are all full with water, everything. So they thought, let us go back to our native place. But now when all the frogs came back, they were all shocked because all of them are looking different. The North Indian frogs were looking what color? They were yellow frogs. South were green frogs. And the east were orange frogs. And these are blue frogs. They were like, hey, who are you? Hey, who are you? They were all shouting at each other. They started quarreling. They were saying, yellow frogs said, we are better than green frogs. And orange frogs said, we are better than blue frogs. While they were fighting, suddenly again there was a heavy rain. When the heavy rain came, all the water and all the color in their body got washed away. And what remained was all of them became brown frogs. They all laughed at each other and said, we are the same old fellows. So we all belong to the same community. We are foolishly fighting. So what is the moral of the story? Actually, as souls, we all are, 14.4, Krishna says, Sarvayonisha kaunteya murtaya sambhavantiyaha tasam amma mahat yonir aham beja pradha pita. He's saying, Hare Arjun, all the living entities are my children. I am the seed-giving father of all creatures. In this way, the whole world is united under one umbrella of Krishna. Krishna is the father and all of us are children. For 15.7 also he says, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Sanatan. For Sanatan period of time, you all are my Amshas, he says. So every Jiva is Krishna's Amsh and all Amshas are similar in quality. There's no difference. There's no difference between soul in girl's body or a boy's body. There's no difference between soul in body of a human being or a insect or animal or anybody like that. Just like, for example, say a boy is going in a Luna. Another driver is driving a truck. So a big truck is coming on the road. Can he hit the Luna? A truck driver can say, Luna is so small, let me hit it. Can he say that? Because Luna is driven by one boy. And the truck is driven by another boy. But both the boys are one in quality because both are similar type of driver. Only the vehicle size is different. Similarly, there may be an elephant, which is big body, and there may be a rat, which is small. But in both the bodies, same type of soul is present. So once we know this Atma Tattva, then we see that all are our brothers and sisters in this world. There is no, other demarcation, like state and country and languages are all superficial. That is not permanent. So that's why here I've given, some people are whites and then blacks, there was problem. Hitler and Jews had problems. See that? Indians and Pakistanis, they had problem. And one more activity I've given. See, fill in the blanks with appropriate names of persons whom great devotees refuse to consider as enemy. Huh? Like Parikshit. Who? Brahmana Bai, Shringi. Correct. Draupadi, Ashwatthama. Ambarish, Durvasa. Jai Vijay, four Kumaras. Garuda, Saubari, Muni, yeah. Avanti Brahmana, his relatives, who insulted him and all, he didn't consider them enemies. He said, why should I blame my relatives? My mind only is creating problem, he said. Dharma Bull, Kali, correct. Kali was beating the cow, but the cow didn't consider him an enemy. He said, my own karmic reactions are coming, he said. Dadi Rishi, there is a story, you may not know, Indra, yeah. See, Indra had told the Dadichi Rishi that if you give Brahma Vidya to these Ashwini Kumaras, I will cut your head. Like that he had threatened. Because Indra was afraid that if Ashwini Kumaras become expert in Brahma Vidya, then they will surpass him. Huh? But Ashwini Kumaras came and requested Dadichi, please give us. And then he told, but Indra is telling, you'll cut my head. They said, we will only cut your head now and replace it with a horse head. Huh? And with a horse head, you give us Brahma Vidya. After you give Brahma Vidya, Indra will cut your horse head. Then I will put your old head back. That's what they did. Huh? Exactly, they did that. And that episode was over. It's one episode. Huh? Ashwini Kumar has learned Brahma Vidya, and then the horse head was cut, and then human head was put back. And Indra understood, hey, these are very smart fellows. They put a horse head and heard the Brahma Vidya. Now they put back the old head. That way, Dadichi remains intact now. Thinking. Later on, Lord Vishnu told all the devatas who approached him that one Vritrasura had appeared in the world. For killing Vritrasura, you need one weapon, which is called Vajra. For making that Vajra, Lord Vishnu said, you can only make it to the spine bone of who? Dadichi. So now all the devatas went headed by Indra. Now Indra is coming and asking, can you please give your bone? How many of you feel, imagine the same enemy who cut your head before. Now he is coming for a charity. How many of you will not give him? He will say, here the door, get lost. Correct now? But Dadichi Rishi did not consider him enemy. He said, you guys are only a nimitta coming and asking me, but who has sent you here to me? Vishnu. For Vishnu's pleasure I will give, he said. So this is very important. This will help you in one thing, I'll tell you. Say, for example, in the same temple, say there are two devotees who have a tussle, for example. What you should think, like sometimes somebody says, Prabhuji, my authority, I don't like him. He tells me, do this, do that. Don't see your authority. You see that your authority is giving you a seva for your spiritual master. Ultimately, you are serving your spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada. And that service is coming through authority. If you think I am serving the immediate authority, sometimes you have a tussle with them. Your false ego is posing some problem. But if you think I am serving my special master and Prabhupada through this personality who is appointed here, then you will not have any problem. Similarly, Dadichi thought, oh, Vishnu is telling you guys to take this from me. For Vishnu's pleasure, I'll give. You guys can use it if you want, but I'm giving for whose pleasure? Yeah. So he didn't find them enemy. Yeah. Similarly, even if somebody in ISKCON creates some enmity with me, for example, I will still always find out ways to help them. The reason is because ultimately they are serving whom? Prabhupada. Correct, no? They are serving Prabhupada's mission. So there are people who at one time were crossing with me, fighting with me also. But later on they sought help also. But I said, I will still help you. I will not remember the old fight you did with me. Why? Because you are whose man? Prabhupada's man. So like that we can say. So, and Samik Rishi, whom did he not consider as enemy? Parikshit. Because Parikshit put a dead snake around his neck. Imagine if you are chanting Hare Krishna, somebody puts a dead snake around your neck and goes, will you become angry with him or not? Hey, who did this? Pakada usko, He'll become angry. But Samik Rishi did not take it seriously. He thought that he wanted water, I didn't give him. So king must have been slightly upset. He's after all king of the world. He's a pure devotee also, Parikshit. So he put a dead snake around my neck. It's all right. He tolerated. So he is also exalted soul. And Jadabharata, Rahugana are dacoits. Correct, no? He didn't consider them enemy at all. He was very exalted soul. See, how should we avoid enmity among devotees? Age of Kali brings on enmity even among friends and within families also. Brings out enmity even within religious movements in which devotees are striving to see one another. Here, give examples of persons who even within religious movements consider someone their enemy. Like Indian devotees, whom do they consider as enemy? Say foreign devotees. Yeah. Foreign devotee, for example. Sometimes Indian devotee, foreign devotee, or educated devotees, uneducated devotees. Sankirtan warriors may say, hey, you are just sitting in the temple and washing pots or something. Look at us. We are going for book distribution. They may say like that, isn't it? And then Grihastha devotees may say, hey, these brahmacharis, they are just chanting, dancing. We are working very hard outside. And the brahmachari will say, hey, these grihasthas in Maya, they will say. Uh-huh. So they consider each other like that. And manager devotees, they will say, hey, you are not, who is that? Yeah, preacher and manager. Yeah, preacher and manager. Manager will tell the preacher, you are just giving lecture after lecture, we are managing the temple. Preacher will say, you are just managing, you really don't study Shastra so deeply and things like that. Mataji devotees, Prabhuji devotees. Mataji will blame Prabhuji's blame Mataji's. Right side is what? How to overcome it. For example, if you see Indian devotees, Western devotees, we should see the sincerity in Western devotees also, correct, no? For us, Krishna is natural to worship. But those people have taken such a long, from such a country where people are eating cow flesh and all that, for them to become devotees is not ordinary thing. To be grateful to them for taking up. Similarly, uneducated devotees, what is some good quality in them? You can see. So you are all educated devotees. What is some good quality you can see in uneducated devotees? Huh? And that determination, simplicity, innocence, correct, no? Similarly, Sankirtan warriors are thinking, hey, this kitchen devotees are just cooking. We are going out, we are soldiers outside. What they should think. About kitchen devotees, what is the glory? If they don't give prasad, they can't go for distribution. Correct, huh? Think about that. Imagine if kitchen devotees say, okay, we are very inspired by, we are also coming for book distribution. Then who will cook prasad? Correct, huh? So Grihastha devotees and Brahmachari devotees. So how should Grihastha see Brahmacharis? They should say Brahmacharis are lazy bums? Or what they should say? They are dedicated, they sacrifice everything 24/7. They are always rendering various services, expanding the movement. We are not able to give all our time. We have to go to office and wife, children and all. But these guys are giving all their time. They should see. So what should Brahmachari devotees think about Grihastha devotees? Yeah, yeah. Even though they are outside with wife, children, family, jobs, still they are chanting 16 rounds. For me to chant 16 inside the temple is very easy. Now, I have no other business. One thing. What else can think? They're balancing and spiritual and material both. And Grihasthas are giving charity to temple. They are giving the donation because of which we are able to run the temple. So we are grateful to them for the donation. No? So like this you can think. So in this way, all these different things are said. Okay, this is good enough. So in fact, I had written almost the same points what they said. See, this is what I wrote. Quickly read it. Slave run.
Social friendships are formed with some motive. Once motive is fulfilled, the friendship is also finished. Devotees connect selflessly and remain true friends for whole life and beyond, with Krishna in the center. Since sense gratification is the goal in social friendships, based on the principle I scratch your back and you do mine, the friendships are very shallow and superficial. Krishna's pleasure is the goal of any devotee's friendships. Devotees come together to make plans together to fulfill Srila Prabhupada's mission for Krishna's pleasure. Example, Karna Duryodhan had their own interest for social connectivity. Example, Krishna Sudama connected as genuine friends.
Correct, no? So I had written this and he spoke almost a similar thing and then he added many more points also. Very beautiful team. Let's appreciate them. Haribo. Okay, who's the next team ready? Tunga Vidya? Okay. Okay, this is a question for you. That is, give example of best friends, correct, no? Best friends becoming worst enemies. Very easy. Write down points. What made it so? Yes.
First example is Drupada and Dronacharya.
Okay.
When they are in Gurukul, they are very best friends. He will tell, I will give, I will help you, like that. Drupada. When he become king, Dronacharya will come and ask, can you help me? Then he immediately say, you are poor Brahmana, you will not allow him only. Here main, what is the reason is, he is thinking that he is a higher person, superior person, like that he will think.
Yeah.
Next is Vali and Sugriva. Sugriva also judgmental, due to judgmental only. When he is fighting with the demon inside the cave, after some time blood coming out, you will think that Vali might have been dead, like that. So Sugriva will come and
misjudged him.
misjudge him.
Misunderstood him, and he was not willing to listen. So what do we learn from these two examples? What would you do in your life in case in such friendship there is a strain? What would you do?
We have to go and clarify why you have done like this, why you are closer to the cave. Then we can decide accordingly.
Correct. That means listen first and then judge next. Don't judge without listening. That's one point. What else? And then from the Drupada Drona, what do you learn? See, in Drupada Drona, I also was not aware. Recently, I came to know when I read this in Mahabharata. If you see, Drupada is saying, Drona, when I become king after my father, my palace shall be your home, I promise. And then he's saying, I shall always remember you and your kind offer. Like that he says, Drona says. And then now he's saying, Drupada, I have come. Remember your promise to me, my friend. Now you can fulfill it. Like that he said. So, and then he said, no ordinary Brahmin can be a king's friend, he said. See, what happened with Drupada? When Drupada went to the court of Drona, what he should ask? My dear Drona, do you remember our old friendship? In the Gurukula days, I'm just coming to see you. And then if he also received him well, then while taking prasad or something, casually he can remind him, at that time you told you will give some half of your kingdom. I don't ask for half. If something you can provide, it'll be nice or something like that. Correct, no? But instead of that, in the public assembly, he went and said, you said you will give me half the kingdom. Where is my half kingdom? Give you now. Like that he asked. So then Drupada became very offended. Hey, you are asking as if it is your right. It is not your right. Huh? Like imagine one of your friend comes to you and says, hey, scooter ka chabi do be. As it is asking. Kiska scooter? Your scooter only, give it here. If he says, what will you say? Sorry, I don't want to give. Correct, no? If somebody is asking, Prabhu, is it all right if I take your scooter for half an hour? I have to just go for purchasing something. Hope it won't be inconvenience to you. Then you will happily give, correct, no? So the tone is very important, how you speak. So Drupada was demanding tone, Drona. So Drupada refused. Drupada told one minister, give him one cow and send him away. In charity, like that he said. Huh? See, now he's walking out. Who? Drupada is also arrogant. And Drona also arrogantly demanded. And then he got the Pandavas, trained them, and then later on Arjuna went and captured Drupada and brought him to Drona. That time Drona was telling, hey, it seems all your kingdom has become mine. If I want, you can even cut your head if I want now. But I am not so mean-minded as you. I won't cut your head. Okay, take your kingdom and go. Like that he gave him. So very, very, both of them had become. Then he created the fire, and Drishtadyumna and Draupadi were created in the yajnic fire. Then Drishtadyumna killed Dronacharya in the war. Ashwatthama killed Drishtadyumna to take revenge. See? Read this quickly.
Drona was insensitive in his expectations from old friend and expected sensitivity and loving reciprocation. Second, we often undermine our own role in the pain that we experience.
Now Drona may say that he insulted me, but then before he insulted you, how did you speak to him? That he doesn't consider. Whenever we all experience pain, we should think that I behaved improperly, therefore I am getting this pain. One should think.
Third, a hurt heart wants to hurt back. Drona hit back in two ways, defeating by Arjuna and returning half kingdom out of pity.
So he insulted Drupada by sending Arjuna to defeat him, and also he gave him half kingdom after taking. And both forgot to stay human. That means both of them became very beastly, animal-like in fighting with one another. So in this way, Drupada Drona is very bitter relationships. So I had written the same point, see? Yeah, exactly. Whatever example you said, I wrote the same thing. Very nice. Drona, Drupada, very good. So who are your team members?
Team members.
They can stand up?
Varun Bro, Harsha Bro, Krishna Bro, and Vishnu Bro.
Haribo, Haribo. Thank you. Good, very good. Now, which team is available now?
Rangadevi.
Yes, Rangadevi, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, bro. So my question is, give 3 ideal examples of good Vaishnava relationships and discuss what lessons are most inspiring in the examples of for us, learn and imbibe. Krish-
3 ideal examples you have to give.
Yeah, yes, bro. So first example is already we discussed like Krishna and Sudama example.
Okay.
So here the lesson we want to derive is that we have to value the friendship irrespective of material designations and irrespective of material positions. For example, if you go to Mayapur and all, there the lot of devotees maybe from different foreign countries and different places, they will come. Nobody knows whose material designation is what, because everyone's center point is Krishna. Similarly, if you come to our centers also, Shaya centers also, there may be the people who are coming from rich background and maybe from the poor background also. But still, the center point, if the center point is Krishna, and I want to serve him and I want to take his association, then these material designations will not come in between.
Correct. Beautiful point. Very good.
And the second thing we want is in friendship we want to nurture the opening our heart. For that we have taken the example of here senior and junior. So just like Narada Muni and Vyasdev. So Vyasdev, even though he has done all the literature work, but he is not feeling satisfaction. So then he approached the senior like spiritual master Narada Muni and asked, my dear spiritual master, can you please help me with this? Then the Narada Muni gave the instruction how we can proceed further. Similarly, in our centers also, sometimes, most of the times, we may reveal our heart to the juniors or to the equalers. At that time, we will get better support. But sometimes we have to go to our counselor and senior devotees also and get the help because they have wider exposure and wider knowledge on different aspects.
Brilliant. Very good.
And third lesson, and we have to concentrate on cooperation. For that example is Prachetas. When Prachetas did the tapas and the Lord has appeared, he said like, I am pleased not because of your hard work or austerities, but because of your cooperation. And Srila Prabhupada's last statement also is telling like, if you love me, please cooperate amongst yourself. So if we have our cooperation better, then we can definitely please the Lord. These are the points.
Good. So I had written Krishna Arjuna for good Vaishnava relationship. And Krishna Arjuna is sweet relation. Karna Shalya is, bitter relationship, isn't it? So Krishna Arjuna had trust, and Shalya and Karna had rusting relation. You want rusting relation or trusting relation? Trusting. So then it has to be like Krishna Arjuna. So, and because Shalya and Karna were always, having harsh relationship with each other. One time Shalya walked out of the battle also. He left Karna and went away. Whereas Krishna Arjuna were always sweet and transcendental relationship. And then I written Ramananda and Lord Chaitanya. But whatever explanation this group they gave was perfect. Who are your team members? Can call?
So we have His Grace Daman, Damagovinda Prabhu, His Grace Vanachari Ramchandra Prabhu, His Grace Hari Prabhu, His Grace Shri Venkatesh Prabhu, Avinash Prabhu, and Chaitanya Sai Prabhu.
Good team. Haribo. Thank you. Who is the last team?
Hare Krishna, Broji. So Champakalata Devi. So our question is.
Okay. Okay, I have not written the answers till now. Okay, go ahead. You learn from you.
Yes, Broji. The question is, what steps can we take in our Shreyas centers to help build sweet, loving Vaishnava with one another.
Yeah.
So our team had a few points. So first thing, having a vibrant morning program together every day. So coming together and chanting and dancing kirtans and taking prasadam together, harinam, and going book distribution. So together. So this is the first most principle. And the second thing is organizing or giving opportunity to glorify the devotees. So in the events which especially we conduct where we glorify devotees for their good behavior. For example, we conduct birthday celebrations where we glorify the devotees, and also one more thing is weekly glorification cards we keep on notice boards. So with this good relationship will develop among the devotees, and also by giving personal time to every devotee for addressing their needs and wherever they lack, so helping them to grow ahead in the spiritual life. And also one more thing, like you also had mentioned in lecture, Prabhuji, that when we want to glorify devotees, publicly glorify, and when we want to chastise, so privately chastise. This will also had a good relationship. Further, we can maintain good relationship by this, because when we publicly criticize, so next time devotee won't be freely, he will be not free with us.
They become very close.
So that is also one of the points.
They become afraid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And one more point is like conducting yatras or going holy places together. So with that also we can increase the loving relationships. And one more thing is cooperatively serving together for the single purpose, keeping Krishna as the center. So when we serve, whatever activities we do, so when we keep Krishna as the center, then there won't be any there will be good relations, because we will be always in the mood of servant of servant of servant. So in that mood, so we will always have a good relationship with the devotees. We cooperatively work for a single purpose, keeping in the mind Krishna is the center of all activities. And also like there are some more, like it is in a single center. So when coming to different centers relationship, we have multiple centers in Tirupati Shreya centers. So inviting other devotees from other centers for the lectures. So and also so coming together, all centers coming together, like how our Shreyas all centers come together here on Saturday. We do dancing kirtan, wonderful dancing kirtan for pleasure of the Lord, and we cook together, and we go outings together. So this is also, especially our Dhanigopal Prabhu also mainly focuses. So we should know each other whenever whenever we gather. So we should know each other's name. We should talk, and we should build. We should initiate that relationship among ourselves, because when different centers come together, we may know some devotees who are there, and we may not know. So Prabhuji especially gives some time for everybody to build that relationships. So that is also one of the good thing which we can implement ahead. And then and at a higher principle, senior devotees, those who are seniors, so they exemplifying these Vaishnava relationships. So that also creates a good impact on the juniors. So and also as a new devotees, first year students comes. So basically we need to give both spiritual upliftment and also help in studies. If we are seniors, we know some things. So with that also we can maintain good relationships. So this is also one of the thing our team decided to. So these are the points.
Wonderful. 10 points. Haribo. Who are the team members?
So our team, Loknath Prabhuji, his guest Parandama Shri Kshetra Prabhuji, Shankar Prabhuji, Varun Prabhuji, and Revant Prabhuji.
Amazing. Big contribution. Wonderful. Very nice. Very thoughtful point. Huh? Very good. I have noted everything. So all the teams are over. Any team left? Chennai?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hindu Lekha Prabhuji.
Yeah. So we are getting a bit late to go to temple hall. It's 6:30 starts, I think, is it? Yes, sir. Go at 6:45. I think it will get over by then. Yes, true.
Prabhuji, the topic was like, what are the learnings we should imbibe from Rupa Goswami on the devotion services when we are in association of devotees?
Okay.
These are the points we have collected from Nectar of Instructions with some examples. The first one is giving charity to devotees. We all know
Give the mic like this.
giving charity to devotees.
Like they drink water, not like this.
Yes.
Give the mic like that.
Okay.
Like that.
Giving charity to devotees.
Yes.
We all know the most important charity we can give is the holy name. But initially we cannot give the holy name like you come, I'll give the holy name. But we share some books, Srila Prabhupada book, we share some prasadam or some gift to devotees. And slowly we imbibe them in Krishna consciousness and help them. And there are some examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita, like Advaita Acharya giving Radha Madan Mohan to Mathura Brahmanas, and like Srila Prabhupada giving his Rolex watch to His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj Ji. And this is one example. And next comes accepting from devotees. Like when we give some charity, we should not expect that that we'll get some in return. But it happens naturally. We should not think that I am giving this, I should accept that. And whatever we accept, we should, whatever one is offering, we should accept it. It's not that we should not deny in that. And
like one should not criticize the gifts. Imagine somebody gave you a big, beautiful pack. You
like,
opened and saw it was only a quartz clock. Huh? Just quartz clock. What is so great about it? Huh?
like one example here is like Srila Prabhupada ji accepted Bhakti Vedanta manner from George Harrison, and this is he didn't deny that.
Correct. Huh.
And next is the third point is opening one's mind to the devotees. Like we know devotees are our best friends, so we should it's like first example, we know the how Arjuna opened his mind to Krishna.
Correct.
And he got a lot of
That's a very
enthusiasm.
fitting example. Beautiful example.
And like he got a lot of clarity in this. So when we have any problem in our life, we can open up our mind to our seniors, our equals, and get a solution from that. We should not hesitate in that. From Chaitanya, the examples are like Rupa Goswami inquiring from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Varanasi, the Swaswamit Ghat. And next is like in the early times of ISKCON, how the disciples of Srila Prabhupada used to write letter to Srila Prabhupada and inquire about their problems. And Srila Prabhupada used to reply them through letters, and they used to get their doubts clear. Then is the fifth point is honoring prasadam or spiritual food given by the devotees. Like the example here is that how the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Govinda used to give prasadam to Haridas Thakur daily. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya accepted Chapan Bhog, like he offered Chapan Bhog to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is one. Honoring and feeding devotees with prasadam. Honoring it, the fifth was honoring it, and then is feeding the devotees. When devotees come, we should not just go away, we just pay them or just pay obeisances and just send them. We should offer some prasadam to them and just then do this.
Thank you, Haribo. You can tell their names also.
Prabhuji, Sai Suman Prabhu, Hari Prasad Prabhu, Vishal Prabhu, and Harish Prabhu.
Okay. Hey, you have that photo? There's one. You can show it? It'll come here? Or you WhatsApp me? I'll show it to you. Okay. Is that? These are the devotees. Chennai devotees. Haribo. They had to go. They had to catch a train. So they have left. Good team. Very nice presentation. Nice examples. You tell them you showed their photo. Huh? So these are some examples I wrote. Lord Ram giving to Sita a ring through Hanuman. And Sita giving Ram a chudamani through Hanuman. So it is an example of giving gift and accepting gift, correct? No? Between Ram and Sita. Not just that. When Sita saw the ring, she cried tears. She touched it to her eyes and touched her head. She said, Hanuman, you don't know how dear this ring is to me and to Ram. She said, and then she told one pastime. One day, Lord Ram and Sita were in Ayodhya, in the palace. So there was some reason why Sita was doing Man Leela. She was a little angry that day. So she wouldn't talk to Ram. She would turn her face away. So Ram employed a trick. So he took out his ring and threw it in one corner. And then he was searching for it in another corner. Sita saw the ring, it is here, and he is searching there. She was wondering, how will he get it there? The ring is here. Then she told Ram, you are searching for the ring. That's not there. It's here, she said. Ram asked where. Then she picked up the ring and gave it to Ram. When Ram received it, so both Sita's eyes and Ram's eyes met each other. And that was the end of their Manlil. Yeah. So Sita said, oh, this ring united me and Ram. She said, so that ring Ram has given, which means every gift we receive or give, the gift has some deep pastime behind it. Similarly, she took out her chudamani and gave it to Hanuman and said, give this to Ram, you will immediately remember Dasharath, Janak Maharaj and myself. You'll remember because when my father gave me in marriage to Rama, that time in the presence of Dasharath and Janak Maharaj gave this chudamani. Janak Maharaj gave. So she was remembering. In this way, the gift giving, taking is not ordinary thing. And revealing mind in confidence. Before I wrote example, you gave a nice example. So I put the same one. Here you gave this example of Arjuna opening mind. That's a very fitting example. Then giving suggestions in confidence. Yeah, good. Arga. Arga. Prasad serving, Advaita Acharya serving Prasad to Lord Chaitanya. Prasad accepting Lord Nityananda, accepting in the home. Also you said, Haridas Thakur. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Govinda. Nice examples. So this way we all can adopt these 6 principles to increase our loving exchanges. Very nice presentation. Haribol. So in this way, the workshop group activity gets completed now. Importance of Vaishnava relationships, you all did very well. Exceedingly well. One loud Haribol for all the devotees. Haribol. Nice participation. In a very short time, I just gave a few minutes, you all prepared and presented very nicely. Thank you. Sorry for delaying you. Now we will quickly run to the temple hall and join the Gaurarti, okay? You have another 3-4 minutes left. Probably you can announce something.